All right, what is up, guys? It's been a while since I made a video like this, maybe even decades, talking about wrestling or something wrestling related. Um, but I've just been itching to make some content, especially wrestling related. I've been making a lot of content for the WNBA, my podcast, No Shade, a Connecticut Sun podcast. So if you're a fan of uh, the Sun or the WNBA, please check us out. It's me and my buddy Joe. He's been a friend of mine since middle school, so we got good chemistry together, and we have a lot of fun talking about the W. It's a good time on Instagram, on YouTube. We don't have a lot of subscribers here on YouTube, so give us a follow, subscribe, whatever. But yeah, we're here to talk about wrestling today. This is the Awesome Lorenzo Bros channel. I haven't been on here in a while. I was on here about 10 months ago doing card videos. And I didn't even get to upload all of them. The Immaculate Box video got distorted somehow and couldn't even figure it out, fix it in editing, but it didn't matter. The box wasn't great, so you didn't miss much if you were wondering. But Matt's been holding down this channel recently over these last couple months with some cards, some taste tests, some unboxings. So I'm trying to get this channel back to wrestling a little bit before SummerSlam, which is this weekend, and WWE Unreal just came out, so I figured I'd talk about that. Because post SummerSlam, I really want to start doing some wrestling content along with all the other stuff Matt's been doing and all the stuff we're going to do together. So I figured if his videos are getting some views, when we do videos together, they generate some views, especially day in the lives. So if you guys still like us, if you guys still want to see videos, let us know. You do let us know. Whether it's one person in the comments or 100 people in the comments, we'll do it. Even though we take some breaks, we still love you guys and we love doing this shit. So enough rambling. Let's get into the meat of this. Let's talk about WWE Unreal. It dropped on Netflix last night, 2 nights ago, like 3 a.m., something like that. Shockingly, I didn't watch it right away. I kind of held off, and I held off of looking at like all the shit on Twitter. And I'm watching it episode by episode, and I took some notes on it, and some stuff I wanted to talk about. And this is just my general thoughts and reactions and things I like, and I'll give some thoughts and reactions on things that are in WWE going on right now that I like, and we'll catch up with each other, and we'll take it from there. But yeah, hopefully this gets good traction. I'll do all 5 episodes. Today is Wednesday, and we leave Friday, so I have to bang them all out and upload them. Hopefully, I don't know if I'll do it all and upload them all before SummerSlam, but yeah, I could do them all back to back, but we'll see. We'll see how it goes. You'll probably know that by this anyway, because it'll be uploaded or not. But yeah, let's get into episode 1. So it started with Cody. Basically, he was talking about how he plays himself. He gets to play himself. And Triple H was saying that he's got the most difficult spot. He's playing a pure white meat babyface. And as we all know, since basically Cody debuted, fans have been saying, or the internet has been saying, that fans will turn on him, and they literally, besides WrestleMania 41, when they weren't turning on Cody, they were just more cheering for John. They still haven't. And after Mania 40 and Gorilla Position, Triple H and Cody were having a conversation, and Cody said, "I feel like a bigger baby face tonight than ever." And Triple H said, "As white meat as you can get, as fucking white meat as you can be." And Triple H said, "We'll be that way until we can't anymore," saying like, we'll eventually have to turn. And Triple H said, "It's not going anywhere. It's just our job to navigate it." Basically saying, yeah, we know they're not going to turn on you. And Cody was like, "Oh, they might," but Triple H was like, "They probably won't for a long time." Which I still don't think we're turning on him anytime soon. If he turns at SummerSlam, I'd be absolutely shocked. I think it would be way too premature. You can ride this out for a long time still. The Cody heel turn, I don't think you do until you have the next babyface ready and you have everything out of Cody. Like, I just think it's way too early. Like, you don't have to do it just to be shocking. You don't have to do it super early just to be shocking. And you don't have to wait until he's booed, until it's too late. You can find that middle time. I just think it's still too early. Cody was holding back tears saying when people say the face of the company, his heart skips a beat because he always wanted to be that, and he just didn't know he could. It's just a classic Cody tearing up, talking about living his dream, being the face of WWE. The next part of this, but they go from like Cody to Cena to the writers' room to the blah blah to the next thing was they talked about the seasons of WWE and how this was from the premiere on Netflix to like WrestleMania and how it's the biggest time of the year. January 6th was the Netflix premiere. They got the Rumble, the Chamber, Mania, and every Raw and SmackDown in between, obviously, which is what this show, Unreal, will cover. And then they were talking about how this top storyline right now being before January 6th, they're booking for January 6th, so it's somewhere in December probably, maybe even a little before that. The top storylines is Cody is the champ, and Cena is retiring. And then they show the next segment was about John Cena. Cena, quote, said, "I would do this for free. He just can't physically do it anymore." Then they went to the writer's room. I'll just say this once. The internet was all upset because in one preview, there was a all-male writer's room. You didn't see an all-male writer's room once in the first episode. But you did see two women's writers. One in the writer's room and one head writer that was all over the place with Punk, I think. And she got her own lower third graphic that said her name. She was doing important stuff out of the writer's room. But first, the writer's room, they show us they were struggling to get Cody onto the January 6th show. And Triple H said Cody was badgering him to get on the show. And I'm pretty sure all he did was he was in the crowd and The Rock thanked him for holding down the fort for the year. But they also had ideas of Cena getting beat up by heels and Cody coming to save him. And Triple H was like, I don't like the idea of Cena's first appearance, him getting beat down and having to be saved. And I totally agree. That would have sucked. That wouldn't have sucked, but it just would have been like, well, what are we doing? It's just kind of lame. It's just for Cody. We should do something for Cena, not Cody. Cody's a SmackDown guy. You don't have to have him do something huge on January 6th. The show is already stacked. Just have him in the crowd. It was fine. And one of the writers made a point of something that's like, we don't have a ton of heels. We could just throw Judgment Day out there, but like just throwing Judgment Day out there for randomness just doesn't make sense. Like, what, you're going to throw Judgment Day out there to beat John Cena up and then have Cody run all of them off? And then what? The next week Cody beats them? Yeah, exactly, yeah. Good mindsets in the writer's room. At least for this part. At the time, they had 3 matches on the board for the show for January 6th. It was Seth and Punk, Reigns and Solo for Tribal Combat, and Rhea and Liv. All 3 of those obviously made the show. The only other match that ended up on the card was Jay versus Drew. They didn't really talk about that at all. They barely showed it. Jay gets shown a little at the end, I believe. Just walking through. They don't show him talking about it, but we know from the previews he's going to get covered a lot in this series. Next, they showed Rhea. They covered her a lot in the Rhea Liv storyline. Rhea, a couple quotes she said was about her character. She said, "She's scary, but you're attracted to her. She's like me, but if I were to get arrested every day in my life." She on the Rhea, the next part was basically talking about and catching the non-wrestling fans up on the Rhea and Liv storyline. They talked about the injury when it happened and how Rhea injured her shoulder in the backstage segment when Liv pushed her into the wall, and she said she broke character and basically was like, just get off me, like stop hurting me, like this sucks, to Liv. And to the people like trying to break up the fight. Rhea elected to not get her surgery and to live with like the lump on her shoulder. CM Punk said he had the same lump. It's something where it's like they could put it back together. I don't remember what medical terms or what part of the shoulder. So I'm not even going to try. But he said you could put it back together and have a scar and be out 6 months, or be out 3 months and have a lump, and you can get it fixed whenever later. And so she elected to be out 3 months and then have the lump. When she was talking to Triple H when she came back from gorilla position, I mean, there's just so many great Triple H quotes to the talent. I mean, Triple H gets a lot of dumb hate online for the stupidest shit. I mean, obviously, a lot of these things I'm going to say, the internet is dumb over and over again. Twitter's dumb over and over again. But yeah, and the internet would probably be like, oh, he knows the cameras are on him. He just wants to look good. It's like, fucking cameras are always on. Like, people still act like themselves when they're on all the time. But she comes back after she, I don't remember, she relinquished the title, or if she was even champ when she got hurt, I forget. But she comes back after being injured. I think she had a promo, whatever. And he said, he said to her, I know this sucks, don't freak out. We'll make this into something wonderful. I'm sorry. And she goes, no, I'm sorry. And he goes, nothing to be sorry about. It's a physical business. Shit hits everyone. No one walks away unscathed. It's just like, that's just the boss you want. Just promising her, like, you'll come back. It'll be great. Just go heal up. It happens to everyone. After that, they focus on CM Punk. He said, one of his quotes was, I have a Hall of Fame career. I can put up with anyone, but the one thing I haven't done is main event WrestleMania. So obviously that's the focal point of this whole series, is him main eventing WrestleMania and that arc. But the match for this episode was him and Seth main eventing the Raw January 6th on Netflix. Punk talked about how they clashed because they were on the roster at the same time, him and Triple H. And he said Triple H's generation was looking down on his generation, saying, you're not going to take my spot, at least not without a fight. And then he becomes part of the Office, he being Triple H, pronouns pal. And then Punk is like, yeah, fuck you, I'm not going to let you tell me anything. Triple H then said, Punk sometimes would never let me assist and would randomly attack me, like with words, not physically. And sometimes I'd leave a meeting being like, this motherfucker. And then lastly, Triple H said, Punk didn't trust me and I didn't trust Punk. While the pipe bomb was playing in the background, they were talking about how Punk said he talks a lot of shit, but that doesn't mean the shit he says isn't 100% fact. So just like classic things Punk would say. And then Triple H said, I feel like how he communicated with others needed to change. Which we've heard a lot in the past from Triple H and Punk. Triple H has said like they both needed to change, and he does say it again. I'll get to it. Obviously Punk has admitted needing to change, and he's apologized and stuff. So this is not all bullshit or anything. This is just reiterating, I think, more than anything. Nothing like too new here. But again, this is especially, and I'll talk about it at the end. I'll talk about it at the end. But the first episode is mainly for hooking in new audiences. But another quote was, one time when he and I met, years later, is from Triple H. There was a convo of him coming back, and I said, same dude, won't work. But this time it felt like he was different and I was different, and I said, let's give it a shot. So they had I don't even know when he was referring to, but he said they tried to bring him back at some point. Maybe it was when he was with Fox in that show. Maybe it was before that, I don't know. But they talked and he said, no, not going to work. I could tell he hasn't changed. And maybe Triple H realized he hadn't, or not retroactively, he realized he hadn't changed as well. And then when they talked recently, before November, when he came back 2 years ago, he said he realized Punk had changed, he realized himself had changed, and it was ready. And they were both ready. And Punk also, classic Punk fashion, said his return was the biggest return of all time. And certainly it's up for debate. I mean, when it happened, it was one of the craziest things in wrestling history, I would say. Like, yeah, big. I mean, he didn't say best. He said biggest. And I say it's one of the craziest. It's definitely one of the biggest. The biggest. It's hard. Cena at the Rumble, just based off, like, how unbelievably fast that recovery was, I guess is more believable than CM Punk ever returning to WWE. It still was pretty unbelievable at the time that Punk... It was very unbelievable that Punk would come back. But with Triple H, it should have been more believable. But yeah. All right, yeah, Punk, it's very debatable. But I mean, it's debatable, but it's believable. That's true. Punk saying... and then there was a funny part with Jacob Fatu. And this is the shit I love. This was my second favorite part of the entire episode. And I'll get to it more. More shit I want to see at the end. From future episodes that I hope they do. But Punk saying, they're just sitting in the back before, I believe, the Netflix premiere kickoff, whatever they call it, where they had they're on a stage and Punk and Seth went face to face at the end, and Triple H broke them up. But they were backstage in that, and Punk was sitting next to Jacob, and Punk just goes like, "I love you, Jacob," and Jacob goes, "I love you, Punk." And then he goes, "And Punk, can I get a photo with you when this is done?" And then Punk goes, "Yeah, like, yes, of course." And then Jacob's just like, yeah, marking out. Like, yeah, I just thought it was hilarious. Like, that's the shit I want to see. I want to see the interactions between these wrestlers backstage. And then the next segment was a really cool segment, especially if you're not into wrestling or a younger fan or not into, like, the minutia of wrestling or the IWC of it all. It was about gorilla position. They showed how they set up gorilla position. They showed diagrams of where gorilla position is in location to the stage and to the arena and to the ring. They talked about the history of it and why it's called gorilla position, obviously because Gorilla Monsoon, and how he would sit there and he would time different things before anyone else ever thought of doing that. They mentioned there's 3 tables in gorilla position. They only talked about 2 of them, unless I missed one. And I think the third is just for, like, anyone else. But one is for Triple H and Bruce, and the other is for Billy Kidman, and then the other is for the match producer. Billy Kidman is the timekeeper, the official timekeeper. I think there's a timekeeper at the ring as well. Maybe not. Maybe it's just Kidman. But Kidman is, like, the official timekeeper with television and everything, and then the match producer will sit next to him. And then they went over, I believe these are the I don't know if this is every single like official producer full-time, but I know obviously they bring on like Nick Aldis, they showed producing, but they didn't mention him here, and obviously a bunch of other, like, current wrestlers have done it, injured wrestlers do it, have produced. They bring in people to try all the time. Like Kenny Dykstra, I think, produces a lot. Jamie Noble produces a lot, I think, too. And they showed he was there a lot. He hugged somebody after that. I think Rhea after a match with Liv, and they didn't mention him. I think he's a full-time producer. I don't know why I didn't mention him. But the producers' named were Chris Park, who's Abyss, Bobby Roode, Michael Hayes, who was the longest tenured, and then they mentioned Bruce, who was executive director of the writing team. Yeah, they were really showing how the producers talk to the refs and how the refs talk to them back. They really went in depth with that and showed it. This was a really cool behind the scenes stuff. They talked to Daphne LaShawn, Ref Bay, if you know her on social media. Leon Ruff. Shout out to him. That's her husband, back from the NXT days of the pandemic. She said it's a whole other world in my earpiece. I'm at least listening to 5 other things while she's, like, listening to the match and talking to the wrestlers. There was one thing they showed of her saying when Braun Strowman threw a chair right in Jacob Fatu's face, and they asked if everyone was okay, and she's like, yeah, everyone's selling. So they're always communicating whether anyone's hurt or not. Braun, in that same match, Braun and Jacob were walking through the crowd. Jacob pushes a fan, and Triple H goes, "Oh no, don't push fans!" And then like 3 minutes later, like, "Oh no, it's an extra. Never mind." It's like, was it a plan? It was one of their guys, which I thought was funny. Triple H didn't even remember. But yeah, they stressed how much it sucks when you are off time, and how much communicating it sucks back and forth to the talent. And we will. Didn't realize how much it would foreshadow the main event of the Netflix premiere, but here we go. We are into the Netflix premiere. It's the day of. We're backstage, and Rock and Punk are talking before the show. Rock asked Punk how he's feeling about tonight, and Punk said he's got a little shakes, but I'm good. It's good to see Punk still get nervous. If you don't get nervous, you probably don't love it. It's good to see Punk love it. So Rock asked if he needs anything, and Punk said no, unless Rock wanted him to tag in for him, which is a nice little joke. Yeah, Rock, I mean, it's hard to, like, where do you stand with The Rock? It's like, great dude, but also, like, I don't know, we'll see more on later episodes about his booking. I don't want to speak too prematurely, but, like, sometimes it's just like, stop what you're doing. But, like, seems to be, like, one of the greatest guys, and just, like, will help anyone with his, like, amount of wealth he has, and knowledge, and literal wealth of money and power. But, like, I think he would, if anyone needed anything in the back, I think he would step up for them and get them what they needed. He has a nice moment with Rhea later we'll get to, as well. And again, you could say the cameras are on and he knows it, but, like, I don't know. If you're an asshole, you're still an asshole in front of the cameras a lot of the time. Some people are good at it, but I don't know. I doubt The Rock is just a bad guy. But, I mean, when you're booking, and you're booking yourself, you know, sometimes you want to be in it, and you can still be a good guy. But yeah, I mean, I'm not a huge Rock fan. I don't want him on the shows, really, but I'm not going to not like the guy. But yeah, anyway, Rhea said she didn't have any brain cells working the day of the Netflix premiere. I want to make a joke that she didn't have any brain cells working the day she filmed the talking heads for the Netflix show, because she said it was the biggest show of the year. I mean, obviously it was January 6th. It was the first show of the year, but and it's just a joke. She said she didn't wear the gear she made that night. She had made for that night because she didn't like how it looked on her. She said she blamed her holiday weight and lady problems. I don't know. I mean, if I gained holiday weight, I wouldn't want to look on it either. So I think that's everyone's problems. But I think she would have probably slayed in that and whatever outfit she wore. But she said her makeup, she didn't know what she wanted either. She was a mess. So poor girl. They showed a quick shot of Triple H telling Pat something, and as soon as Triple H was done, Pat was like, "All right, sweet, I'm gonna go lay down." It's like, fucking Pat. Steph McMahon was talking to Taker, and Taker was like, she said that Triple H was like, "Wow, this is pretty big. This is like Mania." And then Steph was like, "Yeah, I told Paul this was bigger than Mania." It's like, all right, I don't know about that stuff. It's big, but it's not it feels like Mania, but it's fucking not bigger than Mania. It's fucking Raw on Netflix with celebrities. Let's relax. Cena was saying, backstage, he's saying, doing the "you can't see me." He's like, just doing that to the camera hurts my hips. But Triple H told Cena before he went out there that he hopes this is everything. This was before earlier in the day, that he hopes this retirement tour is everything he wants. And Cena said it would be hard to fuck it up. Triple H said there's a way to fuck it up, and John said he'll play the odds and the stats, and he says you bet they won't. And he thinks it'll be great. And yeah, I guess I can talk about my thoughts on the Cena run so far. But yeah, that part was in the trailer, so you probably all saw that part. A lot of people on the internet again hate Cena's heel run. I'm enjoying it. I don't think it's like the greatest run ever, but like I like don't understand what people are mad at. I think if he like did the hits, we'd all have fun. But I also think people would be like, that was kind of lame or whatever. Or like they could have done so much more. Like people would be complaining regardless. I think the only problem I've ever had with it was he turned with Rock and then never mentioned The Rock. If he'd just been like, Rock gave me the idea, or I didn't even do it for The Rock, but The Rock just happened to be there, or something. Just mention like the situation with The Rock. But it's been so long since that, I honestly, it doesn't matter anymore. But the promos, they were a little similar at first, but like you had to get the point across. It was live, crowds were really into it too. The stuff with Punk I really enjoyed. Stuff with Cody I really enjoyed. The match with Cody was not great, but I don't think it was terrible. I think the ending was terrible. But I also don't think the Travis Scott ending needed to, like, Travis Scott hit Cody, and then Cody hit him with a crossroads at some point. I don't think we need more than that. I don't think Travis Scott needed to become a wrestler. Like, everyone's like, oh, Travis Scott did that, and we got no payoff, and we got no... Well, first of all, he got crossroads, right? That's fine. I don't need to see Travis Scott wrestle if he doesn't want to wrestle. Like, fucking... He did it for The Rock, not to quote Rikishi. But, like, he did it for The Rock and John Cena. He doesn't need to, like, become a wrestler and have a huge payoff. The payoff is with John Cena. It was just a dumb decision to have Travis Scott, and obviously it will get to the Mania part, and we'll see that shit. But as a fan, I like Cena's heel turn so far more than I dislike anything about it. I think the matches have been really good outside of Mania. I've been enjoying them. The Randy Orton match I thought was phenomenal. The Truth match I thought was really fun. So yeah, the Cody match, I'm really excited for at SummerSlam. I think they're gonna, especially Cody. I think he knows how people think about the Mania match, and I think they're gonna knock it out of the park. So moving on, and then after that, before they went out, Triple H made sure Cena enjoyed the moment, and he told him, he said, "I know you've done this many times, but make sure you enjoy this one." And Cena, was like, yeah, no, he's like, but just make sure. It's one of the last times. This is a big one. Just make sure you enjoy it. And then Rock backstage before Rhea, she was pacing back and forth. Before her match, Rock just thanked her for everything she did. She's done and told her to go kill it. So yeah, just things Rock doesn't have to do, but he does. Rhea going. This was my absolute favorite part of the entire episode. My second favorite part was Jacob marking out for getting a picture of Punk, and him saying yes, and him marking out for it. My favorite part was Rhea talking to Priest, and she was going over every spot of the match with Liv. And so Priest is just standing there like this, yep, and Rhea's like, all right, clothesline, and then I duck under, and I do that, and then we do the Hurricane Rana, and then we pick her up, and I do that, and we come in, and then I go like that, and then Dom comes in and hits me, and then I go kick out, and then she's just rapid fire hitting every spot, and then at the end, Priest just goes, all right, it's a lot, prepare to cut some stuff. But yeah, that's the shit I want to see. I want to see backstage how wrestlers interact with each other. But we'll get to that. But that was my absolute favorite part. Rhea said she went from panic attack to completely fine when her music hits, and honestly, that's what makes her Rhea Bloody Ripley. Like that's why she's a star. I'd get nervous and I'd stay nervous and I'd fold. P.D. Williams got producer shout out excuse me, in the Liv and Rhea match. He was counting down time, and then after he celebrated with Rhea, and then she celebrated with Jamie Noble as well. So they get credit for that match. I don't know why they didn't get shouted out earlier by one of the writers who was shouting out everyone, the producers. Triple H told Rhea how she's one of the most over people in the company after the match, and we're just getting started. Punk was backstage with Gunther and Kaiser before his match, saying, "You're my European friends, and you'll be brutally honest with me about how it is after." And then Gunther says, "These are the moments we're doing it for, high pressure, big expectations." It's a nice moment between Gunther and Punk and Kaiser. Punk mentioned he has anticipatory anxiety all the time, and that it goes away once the red light comes on, and when he has no boss and can do whatever the fuck he wants. Another just classic Punk moment. And now we're in the main event. Bruce is telling Abyss, who's in charge of the match. He's the producer for Seth and Punk. Just get to the end before 8 o'clock, which in California is 11 o'clock here on the East Coast. And then Bruce was talking about people in their own minds think it's Netflix. We can go 2 hours if we want. We can go 3, 4, 5 hours. He said not true. So internet was wrong again, I guess. I don't know. They go 2 hours and like 45 minutes. I feel like every time when they want. Bruce said the match was great, but it was long. At one point, Abyss asked how over they were, and they were already a minute 45, and it seemed like they had plenty left to do. But I think they only went over not much after that, so I think they like edited it, so it was different. Abyss was telling the ref to suggest Punk that if he had to get rid of a spot, to drop the Anaconda Vice spot, whatever spot that was that had to do with an Anaconda Vice. Abyss was apologizing to Bruce kind of profusely. And then they did cut the spot. Abyss celebrated. He's like, "Oh yes, they cut the spot. They're going to the finish." And Bruce he was telling that to Bruce, and Bruce was like, "All right, like, we're already over. Like, let's get home." And then Abyss, after the match, apologized to Bruce again. And he was like, "It's fine. The entire show was overproduced." So Bruce was like, "I'm not really that mad at you. I'm not mad. It's just like we had to get it done." But Regal came up. William Regal, a fucking sweetheart, came up to Abyss right after that, and he said, "Don't worry about him if he's mad." Or no, he said, I think Abyss was. He said, "Oh, don't worry. That was great," or something. And then he's like, "Is he mad or something?" He's like, "No, he's not, and I'm not mad." He's like, "Make sure you're happy with this performance because I'm very happy with it." So Regal, great fellow. And then it felt like, but yeah, so yeah, that was basically the end. But overall thoughts, it felt like there was a lot more to show. But in the first episode, yeah, you do probably have to show a lot of like what's happening in WWE storyline and like wrestling wise to get caught up for the new fans that are just watching this on Netflix, or people who are casually watching wrestling and want to see this more than they want to see like Monday Night Raw. But I want to see a lot more backstage stuff between the wrestlers, like I've been saying. Give me best friends backstage talking, or people like Punk and Gunther who are face and heel, or like just like people we don't expect to talk or like get good interactions with each other. But what I really want is stuff between opponents. Like if Liv and Rhea were going over their match or something. I know not everybody probably wants that, but I mean, I do. I just like, if you're gonna give it to us, give it to us. But I understand if that they don't do. But I would love that. The writers' room stuff was good. I do expect that to come a lot more in the next episodes as they get especially closer to Mania season in the Rumble, and less for Netflix debut. But yeah. Overall, I think the episode was pretty awesome. I can't wait to finish up the rest. And I hope they continue to do this every year, or like do it for SummerSlam. Like I hope they're filming right now and do it from like King of the Ring to SummerSlam season. I guess that's what it would be. That'd be sick. maybe do one for Survivor Series season. I don't know. But yeah, twice a year, Unreal would be sick. But yeah, this is okay. About a 35-minute episode. If I could do these under about 30 minutes, because I won't have the intro every time. It'd be good. I could bang these out. But yeah, again, I want to see more backstage stuff, hopefully. Obviously, we're going to get more Writers' Room. I know that. And yeah, I just want to... And yeah, we didn't get any Roman storyline for Raw Netflix. He was the only main storyline, Roman and Solo. I wonder how much Roman we're getting at all, or if he's just going to be kept, like, kayfabed. Wouldn't be surprised. Now that I'm thinking about it, I didn't really see much of him in the trailers. I'm probably going to get a couple backstage stuff here and there, and, like, everything, like, that could be, like, half in character, half real Roman, but, yeah, I'm trying to think about it. I hope we get some good... I know we're going to get some Cody and KO stuff. I saw some of that from the Saturday Night's Main Event match, which is good because it's not one of the bigger pay-per-views, but they're covering everything, I think. Everything major. I want some Cody, and I want some Seth. Oh, Jesus, I can't speak. I want some Kevin, and I want some Sammy content. I hope we get some Sammy content. Anything else I hope we get from wrestlers? I'm trying to think. I know we're going to get some Charlotte because of her injury. I'm honestly kind of curious to see how she comes off. I'm sure she'll come off well, honestly. Is Bliss going to be in this? No, she didn't return. Or did she? I don't know. When did she return? No, she didn't return this year, did she? Oh, yeah, she did return this year at the Rumble. What am I talking about? I forgot. I was like, was this last year? No. Because I'm talking about, yeah, I don't know. I was thinking about WrestleMania 40 for a second. 41. Yeah, so yeah, if they can cover Bliss's return, that'd be sick. But she did go away for a while after she returned. That's what it was. But yeah, I'll cut this off now and just watch and react. So thanks for sticking with us. If you're still subscribed to this channel, all 2,400 and something of you. If you're watching this, if you're commenting, if you still support us anyway, we appreciate it. Yeah, hopefully we can do more content. If you just comment below what type of content you want to see. Day in the lives are not going anywhere. If I get any type of wrestling cards, they'll be broken on this channel. If you want to see sports cards, WNBA cards will all be on the other channel. But if you want to see any other sports cards, I'll break them here. I usually just break them on my own now. But if you want to see them, let me know. Usually they get the least amount of traction on the channel. If you want to see, if you want us to go live, do live videos or stuff. If you like these type of videos talking about Unreal, I can do a series on. I watch LFG. I love that show. I know not many people do. So if you want a series and a quick series talking about that, maybe people can learn some people about from there. Maybe like a weekly episode of like things I like from Raw, SmackDown, and NXT, things I don't like. I don't know. Do you guys want to hear about wrestling takes? Yeah, and I would love to start going live and interacting with everyone if you guys would join lives. So that would be really fun. Maybe we'll go live all together in the hotel or hanging out somewhere in Jersey this weekend. So yeah, we'll see how this video does, and we'll see what everyone wants to see. So comment, let us know. Blow this video up, blow this channel up, tell a friend to tell a friend. The awesome Lorenzo Bros are back. Day in the lives are coming.